Oh my goodness. So really excited to speak to you. I know I'm walking into the bear cage, very nervous, but my husband and I, we make a combined income of almost $300,000. And we're living paycheck to paycheck. We have 2 kids. We have been Ramsey-ish for about 2 years, but life keeps getting in the way between funeral expenses for family. Our daughter has severe ADHD, and it just feels like we cannot get ahead, long enough to be able just to follow the steps and the plans. And it's causing a lot of financial anxiety. And I can go into background and anything that you need to help just me figure out how to move forward with the amount of money that we have and living paycheck to paycheck. It's foolish.
Yeah. Well, it's distressing for you, I can tell. And so you live in an expensive city, obviously.
Yeah.
And obviously you've got an expensive medical condition that you're dealing with. And those 2 things go in the budget, and they show up in the budget. Some ways they show up in the budget. So where do you think the problem is? If you were to write, I assume you've attempted some kind of written budget.
Yes, I have every dollar premium version. I have notes in front of me. So our budget. So here's what seems to be happening. We do have a budget. Could we be better at it? Absolutely. But what keeps happening are these large large bills, if you will. So about 1.5 years ago, our mother passed, and we covered the funeral expenses.
Why? Why did they not have arrangements to cover her funeral expenses?
Unfortunately, and this may be where my financial anxiety comes from, my parents raised a very large family on a single income from my father, and did not have financial, responsibility, basically, and just really.
So there was absolutely no assets in the estate.
Meet Every Dollar budgeters Christy and Steve. They used to fight about money.
I'm the spender.
I'm definitely the saver.
Now that they budget with Every Dollar, they're on the same page.
Money is definitely one thing we do not ever fight about.
Having the budget gave me the permission to spend.
Knowing that the money is in each category, it just allowed us to work together better.
Now that's what we call a win-win.
Now we just have to pick paint colors.
We can't help you with that. Every Dollar. Create your free account today.
So there was absolutely no assets in the estate.
Correct. Exactly. None whatsoever.
What'd you spend on the funeral?
About $13,000.
Okay. And so you said big things keep coming up. So the funeral was one. What's another example of something that's coming out of the blue?
Yes. So my brother just passed away, sadly, a couple of weeks ago.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. I know it's been a rough 2 years. So that's another expense. But in between then, what has come up
you're paying for that funeral too?
Correct.
How are you? Are you cash flowing it? What's that look like?
So that was, this is where my problem is, because all I want to do is cash flow it, and it feels that I'm not able to.
Your brother's different than your mother. Why is no one?
Correct.
Is he single?
He is single.
Or was he? I mean,
yeah, he was. Sorry, he was single. And really, right now, out of a few of us kids, it's my sister and I are really the only ones that are the most financially stable.
Okay, so how much did you pay for your brother's funeral?
$8,000.
And you did not pay cash?
Correct. We put that on a credit card.
Okay.
And I do.
So that didn't bust your budget. It broke your bubble, but not your budget. So why can't you live on $300K?
That's why I'm calling.
No, I'm serious. When you write down your budget,
yeah.
what's the problem?
Yeah.
Because you're looking at it in front of you on every dollar.
Right. And
where's the freaking money going?
These are two isolated incidents. Yeah. What's been happening over the years? What do you see? Where do you see the problem?
When you look at month to month, you got $25,000 minus taxes coming in, and so you got you're dealing with $20,000 or so to live on.
Our take home is $13,600 a month.
There's something wrong with that.
That doesn't feel right. Is that minus
That's
investing?
half of what it ought to be.
So I bring home $8,000. My husband brings home $56,000. He pays for insurance out of his check, and we both do contribute to retirement.
How much?
Right now.
Okay, that's the problem.
Yeah, 15%.
You have no money. You don't put money in retirement. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop and get it budget. And what else have you got? Have you got big tax refunds coming?
No, we owe every year
Okay.
for the last couple
All
of
right.
years. So now we've asked our employer.
Okay, how much is your
to
rent or
make-
your house payment?
Our mortgage is $2,700.
Okay, that's
It's not out of line. Okay.
Yeah.
And how much are your car debts?
We paid off my husband's car and mine. I have $8,000 that we're looking to pay off
Okay.
as well.
What other debts do you have?
We have 2 credit cards. Our total debt, including this funeral now, is $17,800.
You don't have much debt, so that's not where
Correct.
it's going. It's not your house payment.
Yeah.
That's not where
Do you have
it's
kids
going.
in daycare? Lots of kids?
Well, we have 2 children, and that's what I was going to get to. It's like, how do we so our daughter's ballet, it's ridiculous. I'm afraid of what your response is going to be. It's $10,000 a year. Our son plays
That's not the
soccer.
problem. That's not the problem
Okay.
either. I'm trying to figure out
That's
what's eating
$800
up.
a month.
Yeah, what's eating up $20,000 a month, and I haven't seen it because you have $8,000 on
Yeah.
the car. These credit cards. What's the payment on the credit cards? What do you pay every month? Nothing.
So here's what we end up. No, what we seem to be in the cycle of is banking money and then paying off the debt. Right, trying to do the snowball.
Yeah,
and then,
you're trying to make up your own freaking plan. So let me ask you,
Yeah.
what do you do for a living? What's your husband do for a living?
He is a teacher, and I'm a school psychologist that moved into administration. So I'm a principal.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Both of you are in administrative type roles.
Mhm.
Okay. And so
Yeah.
if I hired you and said, balance these people's budget that make 300K, you could do
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an intellectual circus. It's not that hard.
Right.
So you could do it, but there's something you aren't working together. You're not willing to say no to eating out. You're not willing to stop your retirement savings. You're not willing to get, to sit down and let's get this. This thing has to balance. You're not in Congress.
Yeah. I know.
And you
I
guys
know.
have to look at this with a more serious eye. It sounds like it sounds like you keep circling around the airport and have refused to land.
Yeah, because if she's really saying that the only debt they have is $17,000 in credit cards and $8,000 in cars, that money's she's not telling us.
They're spending money on $10,000 here on ballet, and then and
Yeah.
the ADHD was probably 10 or 15 grand on something they overdid, and so you overdo everything, and you're living drama to drama, crisis to crisis, and you're letting that stuff dictate your life rather than you dictating to that stuff. And so let's pretend you didn't have any money and your brother died. Well, who's going to pay for the funeral? I guess it wouldn't be you. So we have to start thinking about these things. We're going to do the $1,200 cremation. This is what happens if you die and there's no one to take care of you. The state will cremate you. That's what happens. Okay. And so I'm not suggesting being that cold, but you guys got to start looking at some of these things and quit calling them all. These crises are taking precedent, and you've got to take precedent over the crises because the budget becomes king, and the two of you have to be working on it together. I don't think he's real involved here. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Lena is in Charlotte. Hi, Lena. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. How can we help?
Question. So my husband and I are debating paying off the house. I know you've had this one before, or investing money. We're on, I think we've completed up to baby step 4 now. He likes to have cash on hand just, if the market does go down and we want to buy another house for investment purposes, fully funding, but we're just kind of in the predicament. Do we pay off the house now? Do we pay it off in chunks, like throw a big chunk this year, then another chunk next year? Wanted to get your thoughts.
How long have you been listening to this show?
A while. And he sends me, I think I know what you're going to say, but I kind of also want him to hear it.
Okay. I mean, if you're going to work our plan, you already know what you're supposed to do, right? If you're going to work your plan, then you get to make up your own plan.
Right.
So, but we know from data and 30 years of doing this that the shortest distance between where you are and wealthy is to get everything paid off and stop borrowing money because you get control of your most powerful wealth building tool, which is your income. And, the vast majority of the millionaires that we studied in the millionaires' largest study of millionaires ever done had paid off their home early. And it frees up that house payment. I mean, when you start investing a house payment, it turns into $1 million so fast, it's scary.
When you were talking about what he wants to do in terms of investing, did you mention the possibility of getting another house? I thought I heard that.
Yeah. Using the cash on
'cause
hand
we're
to buy a
putting-
rental instead of paying off their home.
Oof.
Yeah.
So,
Because we max our 401ks. We put money in our Roths.
so
But instead of, putting all eggs in one basket, that was kind of our next, especially if the market does go down.
yeah, so you've been listening to the show for a while. Has he been listening for a while, or what's kind of his attitude towards the baby steps?
Yeah, he likes, and I laugh when you guys say, the feeling of having zero debt if you do pay it off. He just has a certain dollar threshold that he likes to see in savings. And I think he's just scared to see that go below that. So I think he's just the comfort of having cash on hand.
How much cash have you got?
Savings, about $300.
$1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just sitting in a high yield savings account, or what are y'all doing with the money right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's costing you $2,500 a month right there. Opportunity cost. That's dumber than a rock. That's not comforting. That's just stupid. How much is your mortgage?
We're on a 15-year. It's about.
Now, what's your
around
balance?
205.
Pay it off today. Now. This is ridiculous.
You'd still have a ton of money left.
You're still sitting on $100,000. What is it makes you comfortable? My God. Pay that off today. You're sitting there making 1% on your money and calling that comfortable. No. What do you guys make? You must make $500,000 or $600,000. What do you make?
No, like 4.
Yeah, I figured. Lord. Honey, y'all do whatever you want to do, but you called here. This is it. Your situation. Financial planners worldwide would call you ridiculous, sitting on $300,000 cash at 1%. I mean, I don't think you're going to find anybody who goes, "Oh, that's wise." I like having cash around. I believe in liquidity. I believe in having an emergency fund. I believe in having access to your money. But you guys need to write a check today. Hey, listen, pay it off, and if you hate it, you hate being debt-free with only $100,000 in the bank, in 4 or 5 months, just go get you another mortgage. You'll feel better. You'll never do that, by the way. Once you pay it off, you're going to go, oh, I was completely that was just, no way I'm going back.
Right. Well, and they make
Should have asked earlier what the numbers were.
Whew, I'm like, they make enough money. They could buy that rental property soon. They can get the bank account back up soon. I'm like racking my brain
You
trying
make
to.
$400K. You can buy another rental by the end of the year in cash, and never have any debt. I mean, you're sitting on $100,000 after we do this deal. You need to pay this house off before the sun goes down. Merry Christmas. Do it right now. Oh my gosh.
I think that's a good word. Gosh, yeah. My brain is like, I'm racking my brain trying to think through any reasons or arguments that he might have that are valid.
There's not any. This is just what happens in this situation is they make a lot of money. I knew it. I could smell it. I told you. What do you make? $500-600? Oh, just $400. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So they make a ton of money, and they work like crazy people. They work hard. They put a lot of hours in, probably carry a lot of stress. And that pile of money does give you comfort when you're working that hard, because you can, if anything, if you just want to do something, you can just do it. It gives you lots of options and margin and that kind of thing. And so what he's receiving from that is a comfort. It is an emotional comfort. But what you're trading it for is the emotional discomfort of losing $30,000 to $40,000 a year return on $300,000 sitting there doing nothing. I mean, $40,000 a year is substantial loss.
That's huge.
You know, and I mean, 30,000 at or 300,000 at 10% is 30,000. So I mean, whatever you want to calculate it at, but 30,000. That's serious money. That's a nice vacation. I'm just saying.
That's a nice vacation.
And so.
It's a lot of things.
It's a lot of things. What you don't realize when you're in his situation, in Lena's situation, is that the comfort and the margin and the flexibility that all that cash gives you intellectually, the trade-off is emotionally you haven't realized you are carrying weight with that mortgage. And you just kind of set it in the back of your mind, but it's still in your mind. And as Dr. Deloney talks about, your body knows that it's there. And so when you pay this off, you're going to get a different kind of peace that is actually more thorough, a more thorough peace than you're getting from this pile of cash. The cash is a mirage. That's what I'm saying. Brought to you by Refi. Refinance your defaulted private student loans today at yrefi.com/Ramsey.
Today's question comes from Kayla in Montana. I want a new car. My husband lives and breathes by Dave's rules, and he thinks we can't afford one. We're both 35 years old and together bring home $700,000. Our only debt we have is our $600,000 mortgage on our home and a $65,000 rental home. Our net worth is close to $1 million. We have 2 young daughters and plan to add to our family soon. So I want to save up and buy a new mid-sized SUV this year. My husband wants to purchase a used full-size SUV and keep it for a minimum of 7 years. Which one of us is correct? I don't understand my husband wants to purchase a used and keep it for a minimum of 7 years. Do you get it?
She wants to buy a brand new car.
Buy new. I hear.
And he wants to buy a used one and keep it.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. So the problem here, Kayla, is not the car. And the problem here is not your husband following the Ramsey rules, because your husband's not following them. The Ramsey rules include working with your spouse and being on the same page with your spouse. And you, Kayla, have nothing to do with anything here. You just stand back and ask for stuff. And he decides if he's going to give it or not. That is not a Ramsey rule. Instead, you should be like a grown-up person, not a child wanting something from her daddy, and be one of the 2 votes on where this freaking $700,000 goes. That is what we teach. We don't teach what your husband is doing, nor what you are doing. And so you guys got to get talking about, okay, here's the future I want, and here's the steps it's going to take to get to the future.
Yeah, and how do we get there?
How does a car purchase fit in that future? But you sound like a 16-year-old having a hissy fit because your daddy won't buy you a car. And that's just ridiculous. That's not the position you should be in as the wife.
No, but she may feel, on the other end of the coin, frustrated if they're making
There's a serious amount of pouting in this email.
No, but if they make $700,000 a year,
they make plenty of money.
That's what I'm saying. And
she doesn't.
She's like, "Hey, can we spend $50,000 on an SUV?" And he's like, "Nope." And she's like,
"Well, they're not."
Do you know what I'm saying?
But they're not. This is like, Daddy, we got the money.
No.
And Daddy's saying, no, we don't have the money. I follow Dave. Well, you don't follow Dave because you don't treat your wife like a 16-year-old child.
Yeah.
Your wife is a full-grown woman and stuff.
Okay, so what if they...
And so she needs to be involved in the discussion.
Okay, so if they're both...
The thing is positioned wrong.
Okay, that's the first... Okay.
That's my point.
Okay, so what if they're both adults...
And they're both talking
saying,
about it.
And she's like, listen, we have plenty of money. We can do this. Our net worth
What we teach is, and what I lived with my wife who had a vote, and I had a vote, what you have lived with your husband who had a vote, and you had a vote, was that we don't buy a brand new vehicle because they go down in value, regardless of your income, until you have $1 million net worth. And you, darling, don't have $1 million net worth. And so, no, I would not buy a house. I would buy a 2-year-old SUV.
Yes.
And I don't think you have to keep it 7 years. I don't care how long you keep it, but you buy used cars and let someone else take the butt kicking on the depreciation. You don't spend money on things that go down in value like a rock while you're trying to get out of debt and build wealth, even if you have a $700,000 income.
Because they do have a $600,000 mortgage, right? So I'm like, there's
something wrong. Where the heck is all this money going?
Right.
I mean, my gosh. You ought to be able to write a check by that SUV and not even have this discussion.
And pay off the rental house.
Pay off the rental house and
Yeah.
get your house paid off.
Right.
And live on $100,000 1 year.
Right.
What the flip are you people doing? I mean, there's money going out of here like you guys are in Congress. So, but the immaturity in this is just dripping.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
that's
the
fair.
positioning of it is wrong. So you guys need to be like, we're both going to sit down. We're both going to say, okay, this is the principles we're going to use in our house. And based on those principles, we are going to make these decisions together. And that's not him dictating that to you or you dictating it to him. This is, we're going to decide where we're going. And if you want to follow the Ramsey rules, it would be, I don't know that Ramsey has rules. If you want to follow the processes that we teach that have caused people to build wealth, it is two grown-ups working together toward an agreed goal and the shortest possible distance between here and that goal. Two grown-ups. Now, they'll come at it from different angles. We can have discussions based on our different personality styles or different histories. We can have all kinds of discussions here, but it's never... I want a car and Dave Ramsey. My husband's a Dave Ramsey nut, and he won't buy me a car. And that's exactly the way this sounds.
I think you're offended that she...
No, I mean, it's just...
I'm kidding.
No,
I'm kidding.
I'm not offended at all.
I know.
But
you're right. I think the frustration comes from when we've talked to so many married couples.
The positioning.
And it reveals the state of the marriage and probably how it is. And you care more about their marriage in that sense. You as people need to become healthier. And these decisions coming out of that become way more peaceful and, more mature.
If you want me to get really tacky, I could start guessing how he makes $700 a year that causes him to be the daddy.
What?
I could do that, and I probably would be right, but I won't. That's tacky. So I think I know what he does for a living. And that
like a whole life guy or something?
No. He's in an industry where he's God and he's used to being in charge.
Oh.
And he makes a ton of money.
He has power.
And he's used to telling people what to do all day long, and his wife is on the list of people he tells what to do. And so she's adopted the position of kid rather than wife. And that's where assuming he makes all the $700K, I got a feeling she doesn't make hardly any of the $700K, or she'd be raising up even heavier.
Yeah, I don't know.
If she made the $700K, we might not have got the email. So that in the way this thing's positioned, and this is the dynamic we're talking about. Why are we covering this, and why are we poking such holes in it? Is because in all the millionaires we've studied, the data is very clear. 80+% of them have a solid marriage relationship where the two of them are both aligned on the goals and the process to get there. Not,
and have equal.
The guy's not like, well, my wife won't give me any money. I work all day, but she treats him like he's 15 years old. He brings a check home and gives it to mama, and mama don't take care of him. And we don't hear that from the millionaires, or the other end, or the vice versa, which is this one.
Yeah, the dictator of the home. Yeah,
and that we don't. This model right here of relationship the data does not bode well for this model. It says you're not going to do well. I don't even care if you make $600K. You cannot out earn your stupidity. I've tried it. So that
and money is such a reflection, though. It's kind of what we were talking about with Lewis in the last segment. It's a reflection so much of who you are and your character and the health of you, right? And money either magnifies those healthy versions of you, or it magnifies the unhealthy, broken sides, which we all have both.
Including relationships.
Including the marriage. So him bringing in, or them, she says we bring home together $700,000, so I don't know who brings it home, but the idea that you're making a lot of money is magnifying through a car purchase some of those dysfunctional parts of the marriage. Yeah. And looking at that and becoming healthier in that fixes some of this. But
and I don't want that. I guess maybe I did rise up on this. I'm thinking about it emotionally. I don't want any of you using our name or the stuff we teach as a weapon in your house. And that's what's going on here. he lives and breathes by Dave's rules and thinks we can't afford one. So he's using, he's bad guying off of us. Like, well, Dave says you can't do that, right? Instead of actually manning up and walking through the concept and getting agreement based on logic, instead you blame it on somebody off in the podcast land, and that's complete cowardice, So, yeah, quit using my name as a weapon. Pisses me off. This is the Ramsey Show.
That was in there.
Why Refi refinances delinquent private student loans for struggling borrowers. Learn more at yrefy.com/Ramsey. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Hi, sorry, this has to be kind of brief, but my wife's a big fan. She listens to you all the time. We have the EveryDollar premium. We've been trying to budget every month for the last 5 months or so. I work in corporate America. I do marketing, digital marketing, and my wife is a part-time homeschool hybrid teacher. She makes $18,000 a year. I make $105,000 a year. We have roughly $200,000 left on our house. We have no other debt, nothing at all. My wife and I struggle to be under budget with the EveryDollar app every month. We're always spending more than we're taking in. I don't do any of the shopping. I'm just at work. She takes care of our 1-year-old son, and it's just very difficult to get under budget each month. So I don't know. I've tried to talk to her about this. She just has issues with spending too much.
So is she paying every single bill in the household?
So she does the grocery shopping. I pay all the other bills. So our son goes to physical therapy.
So as you look at the budget and the bank account, where would you say most of this money is disappearing to?
Groceries, by far.
Okay. And are you saying that you feel like she's overspending on groceries?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like we're spending easily over $1,000 every month on groceries.
And is there a reason? Have you asked her, hey, what's going on with the groceries here? Can we change our grocery store? Are we wasting food? Like, how can we do better in this area?
I try. She tries to make everything in one stop. So we have Safeway out here, which is like, I guess, Kroger now for everybody else. But also going to Costco. She just likes to only go to one store and buy everything. So a lot of the Costco bills are $300 to $500. She does that sometimes twice a month, plus going to Safeway. And then things can get up to, $1,200 easy on groceries.
But even then, are you guys taking home $9,000 a month? What's your take-home pay?
With both of us, it's about $6,000 a month.
That feels awfully low for you guys to be making gross, close to $130.
Well, yeah, and again, our mortgage is not very high either. It's about $1,600 a month. There's, like I said, there's just lots of things that just seem like they sneak in there.
But this is more than groceries.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even at $1,000 in groceries, you guys still have $5,000-$6,000 of random other bills, and so I think there's more to it.
I mean, what are you contributing to this? You sound like you're pristine the way you've set this up, but I got to believe that you've got some habits. Yes?
Not really. I don't buy anything on Amazon. I run a lot, so I buy running shoes like every other month. That's about it. They're about $150, and I'm very athletic. I run against college kids in D3 schools, but I have a coach that's $150 a month. That's all I really spend on myself.
Okay. So you have your fun money. You've got John's fun money, $150. You've got groceries.
Run money. Sounds like.
But there's still a lot of money to be accounted for in here, and this is going to be a conversation with you and your wife sitting down with accountability, saying, "Here's what we okay. If we need $700 in groceries for some reason, that's the limit. And once we go over that, it's over."
Yeah.
You guys got to sit down. You called us for help. But bottom line, you said she's a big fan. So she's open to all this stuff. You guys got to sit down and track spending for 60 days so that you just have a really good idea about what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And
we've tried. We've tried. And
no.
If you've actually tracked it against the budget will tell you very quickly where your money's going.
You're too busy running. What are you running from?
No. What am I running from? I'm not running. I'm running from my fears, I guess. No,
yeah, you are.
A lot of stuff on Amazon. She buys a lot of stuff on Amazon that she thinks, oh, our son needs this and our son needs that. We did have a car that was a gas guzzler. We did get a new car, and that was paid for by generosity from a family member. It's completely paid off.
You guys can do this, man. This is communication. I hate to keep simplifying this.
And we're hearing one side. I think you're telling the truth, but I think she might be telling the truth. What if little Junior does need all of this stuff?
He's a year old. He doesn't need anything.
I don't know what he needs, but, Dad's at work and running.
I know. Yeah, a little less running and a few more meetings. That's what we need to do.
There we go.
This guy, those running shoes aren't cheap.
That's why I don't run, Ken. I save so much money.
This guy's so much into running, he's got a coach that's coaching him how to run. That's
I'm going to start racing against elementary school kids. That's my version.
What are we doing, man? Tell you what, I'm not running. I'm sitting on this break.
Create your free $every budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Steve is with us. Steve's in Lansing, Michigan. Hi, Steve. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Okay. Well, my wife and I are in what seems like an impossibly tight spot. We've been dealing with basically increasing health problems and income reduction, and right now we're kind of in a spot where we feel like we need, like an unrealistic financial miracle that we know won't happen. So that's kind of the situation we're in.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's talk that through and understand what you're talking about.
Okay.
What is your income?
Sure.
What are your incomes?
Okay, we were at about $74.30 a month, and we have been reduced to about $3,200. I'm a paraplegic. I've always worked, but my work has completely dried up over this past year with COVID and a few things. And then her income was reduced, and she has lost her health insurance. So, like I said, we go from $74.30 to $3,200 a month. We've had some big home and vehicle repairs that are necessary. We were going through total money makeover. We realized, we weren't there for that, so we kind of dialed it back, and we're going through financial peace, and we realized we're still not even quite there. So we really need some direction on what to do with this situation.
So what are you doing for work right now?
Right now, I'm a freelance web developer, and technology and kind of the small business. The small business has been my main clientele, and that has largely evaporated.
Could you look for a salaried position with a company?
Yes, I'm in the process of trying to do that. I have not been successful thus far with that.
Okay, help me with this, because web developers are in great demand. When you say you're a web developer, what do you mean? You're a Dev 1, Dev 2, Dev 3? What are you, a platform architect? What do you do?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I just do. I'm kind of a jack of all trades. I create sites for small businesses. I work with their marketing. I do just try to set up new businesses with their entire initial setup.
Yeah, do you have the skills to join a dev team?
Probably not.
Okay, that's what I was hearing.
Probably not, to be honest.
Okay, all right. Because that obviously the developer world is just in great demand right now. We've got several hundred of them on our team and are constantly hiring in that spot. And so that's the only reason I've got a little bit of knowledge about it, is it's a frustration point here at Ramsey. So if you can, so you really need to get your business moving of helping small businesses, or get involved with somebody who's doing that, like a marketing agency or something that would hire you to help with the technology side of a marketing campaign.
Yeah. So okay. Something like that would be wonderful. I've had a big part of, like I said, is the.
What were you doing? Who were you with before? How were you making money before?
Word of mouth, online. Some small online marketing, and just.
So you had multiple clients?
Yes.
Okay. Were they in a space that were shut down with COVID, or what?
Yeah. I had four major. I wouldn't say major, but my four primary clients, and all of them dried up over the course of the last year and a half.
Okay.
Every single one shut down there.
Okay. All right. Well, the good news is you're not geographically bound with what you're doing. You could do it. You can reach out online, and you could be doing it for someone in Nashville. You could be doing it for someone. I mean, if Lansing's not operating as openly as some other areas, you could get that going. So I think you've got a marketing problem on your side, and you're probably your miracle in that regard. How much of the 7430 were you making?
Let's see, 74. Hold on, I got my numbers here. Probably over half. Okay. It was about 40. Let's see, 42.
Okay.
I was about 42.
Yeah, it feels like you guys have an income crisis that is creating these other crises. And just in talking to you for a moment here, that's what it feels like. And it feels like you guys got to get, you've had all these things happen to you, and you've got to turn the tables and start happening to the situation. Let me send you a copy of Ken Coleman's book, From Paycheck to Purpose, and jump on his website and start studying things. I'll also send you a copy of the EntreLeadership book since you're running your own thing, because I really want to give you guys a boost on the income side of the equation. I think that's going to solve where you're going. We have a rule around here. When we recognize a recurring theme, we take it as a pattern. Last hour, I had a gentleman call in who was making $200,000 a year that owed $190,000 on his student loans. And he wanted to do the total money makeover and get out of debt, and he said his wife wouldn't let him. This hour, we had a gentleman call in that said he bought a $10,000 car at 20% interest, and he wanted to negotiate the price, but his wife wouldn't let him. That's two in a row, one each hour for the last 2 hours. So let me help you with this. This is a problem. Okay? It's a problem. Married couples that are smart and that are mature and that have functional relationships take input from each other. And one of them doesn't wear the pants in the family. We work together. Proverbs 31 says, "Who can find a virtuous wife? For her worth is far above rubies. The heart of her husband safely trusts her, and he will have no lack of gain." So I don't make major decisions without my wife and I being in agreement. But I don't utter the wussified, wimpy words, "my wife won't let me," either. Come on, guys. Man up a little here. Square your shoulders and at least be half the program. Ladies don't want to be married to a wimp anyway. Not good ones. Now, there's some toxic, overbearing, out there that are test pilots in a broom factory or something, but, that's a different thing, right? But I'm talking about real solid women that are empire changers and empire makers. They don't want to be married to a wimp. And by the way, men don't want to be married to, barefoot and pregnant and stupid. We want to be married to a woman that has some square shoulders too, and has a brain and uses it to raise great kids, and uses it in our relationship, and uses her wisdom in our decision making. And so, you angry white feminists, go ahead and send me your stupid tweets because you're idiots, because this is not a feminist issue. This is a marriage issue, and it's the wussification of America, where some of you men need to stand up and be men. You're killing us in this culture. You're killing us. Seriously. And I'm not talking about you have to go gut a deer or drive a four-wheel drive. That doesn't mean anything, although I'm not above doing either one of those things. That's not the point. The point is, have some anatomical attributes. Have a backbone, all right? Seriously. Act like you are somebody. Men and women. And the two of you work together to accomplish things. Now, I'm no more sexist than fly to the moon. Half the operating board in this organization of 500 people are women. My CMO is a lady. 2 of my EVPs are ladies. And they carry as much decision-making weight and as much wisdom around here, sometimes more, than some of the leadership guys do in this building. My mom was a full-time realtor growing up, and she was selling real estate in 1968 before women sold real estate. Now all the real estate is sold by women, just about. But back in those days, we got hate mail put in our mailbox because a woman dared to enter the business world. So I'm long away from being a sexist. That's not the point. But the point is, men and women are different, and that's a good thing. And if you're married, God put you together, and you need to, both of you, use your dadgum brains and backbones when you're making decisions. So, ladies, don't call in here and say, my husband wouldn't let me, because I'm going to call you out on being a wimp, too. But for goodness sakes, men, don't call in here and be a boy either. My wife wouldn't let me. Wuss. Seriously. I'm sorry, but it's just awful out there, you guys. There's this attack on masculinity that's just ridiculous. I'm sorry, I'm not nurturing. Get over it. You know, seriously, somebody else can pick up that paddle and run with it. It's not me. I'll be compassionate and caring, and I'll serve you and I'll help you, but I may not be nurturing. It may not be in the way I'm wired. Oh, well. So here's the thing. Both of you are making your decisions together, or you don't have a healthy marriage. Either you're dealing with a wuss or a test pilot from a broom factory, or something's going on here, but you guys need to get this stuff organized and start making your decisions together. Because if I hear that stuff, I'm going to call you on it, man or woman. That's the deal. I'm going to call you on it. You've got to step up and work together. Let me tell you, the correlating thing that I see more than anything else, you hear these families come in here that do these debt-free screams, and they paid off $80,000, they paid off $180,000, they paid off $40,000, they paid off $38,000, whatever they paid off. Every time I ask them, what's the key to getting out of debt? You know what they say? You hear them over and over and over again if you listen to this show. They say, we were on a budget and we were working together. Every time. You don't hear a couple standing here and say, we paid off $80,000, and every time I want to do something, my wife wouldn't let me. You don't hear that. And you don't hear my husband told me what to do, and I just did whatever he said do because I'm too stupid to use my own brain. Somebody told me females weren't supposed to have a brain. You don't hear that. You don't hear that. You hear two solid people that joined arms and said, we're killing this together. And they kill it together, and working together is the key. That's what's going on. This is huge, you guys. It's huge. And when we force families to do a budget together, it forces communication and it forces cooperation. And did you listen to this statistic? All the women's magazines, the Red Books and the Women's Day and all this doing the surveys. When ladies are surveyed, men, listen to this one. When asked if they would like more communication in their marriage, 97% say yes. Let me help you with that. That's all of them. And that's even if they called Sharon Ramsey. More communication, more communication. That's just a standard deal. When you start doing a budget together, you're cooperating and you're communicating. When men are asked what they would like more of from their wives, it's only 57%, but it's still statistically significant. Say cooperation. You want cooperation and communication in your marriage, men and women? Have a backbone, use your brain, be mature. Adults devise a plan and follow it. Children do what feels good. Don't be 4 years old emotionally. Have something noble that you're aiming at, like changing your family tree, getting our life back from Sally Mae, and getting away from Chrysler freaking credit. Have a plan here. Lock arms together, communicate, cooperate, and do the written budget. And don't call in here and say, my wife wouldn't let me, my husband wouldn't let me. Seriously, I'll call you out on it from now on, today on. That's it. We just put a new bar right here on the Dave Ramsey Show. That's it. I was nice to both those guys, but it went through my head. What? That's what went through my head when I heard that both times. And I was trying, I don't want to embarrass a caller. I'm not beating callers up unless they just demand to be embarrassed, and then I do. But, I'm not that talk show host that my goal is to destroy every caller. But that's what went through my head when I hear that phrase. My wife wouldn't let me. What? Really? My husband wouldn't let me. What? So what we have here is not a financial problem. We have a marriage problem. We have a relationship breakdown. There's a lack of respect both directions. People, listen, ladies that are of substance do not want a daddy. They want a husband. Men that are of substance don't want a mommy. They want a wife. And if you say stuff like, my wife only gives me so much money, what is she, your mother? two of you ought to be working together. My husband's got me on allowance. What are you, 12 years old? Step up here. Be adults, both of you. And if you want to call that sexist, jump in the Twitter creek. I'll blow you up on Twitter if you mess with me on this. You're completely out of line if you do. But the wussification of America, it's time it stopped, you guys. Some of you men, man, we need some men in this culture. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
So, a long story short, is it started with a house, a foreclosure. I was 23 years old. I made a stupid decision to co-borrow on my parents' mortgage. Didn't know any better at the time. And 4 years later, which was this summer, I got a call the house was in foreclosure and over $200,000 in the negative. And in the blink of an eye, it was either have a foreclosure on my record or assume that property and take something that was well above me and my soon-to-be wife's means. And we're just trying to figure it out and make all our payments and make the best of a bad situation. In addition to some credit card fraud, which I have most of that resolved. But
you have most of that resolved?
Yeah, I submitted fraud claims. I have all the proof that they weren't out my cards. I'm battling on one, but the two larger ones are taken care of.
Okay, but the house you did actually sign. It's not fraud, and
yeah, no, that part
and now you have it. So, what is the house worth?
We inherited it for $750, and it's probably worth like $700. So
what's owed on it?
$750.
So you owe more on it than it's worth.
Correct, and the mortgage. We had a nice one-bedroom apartment, living very comfortable.
No, I mean, how in the world does a house have more owed on it than it's worth in our current world?
Well, when the people who were living in it didn't pay it for 4 years, found that all out the hard way, and it added up very quickly.
Okay, and so you're 4 years behind. How are you catching that up?
They did a loan modification to where they lumped anything that wasn't paid for, plus the original balance at signing. So that was how it worked. Typically, from my understanding, the loan modifications are supposed to be a little bit cheaper than the original for monthly payments, but due to the fact that it was so far behind, it actually increased the mortgage.
So what is your monthly payment?
$6,400.
And what's your household income?
A little over $160.
Okay. How old are you now?
29.
Wow.
And we had a nice apartment.
Doesn't matter. It's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, did you own it?
Nope, but we had ourselves very comfortable.
Yeah, but I mean, you get this is in your name, and you all that's in the rearview mirror. So, yeah, it is in your name. You signed the mortgage, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So I guess a question I would have for you is, we're making it work now. We're breaking even. I luckily was a hard worker in my younger time, and we put away a nice emergency fund, a little under $100,000. So we have that to fall back on. But my worry is if something were to go wrong, boiler, roof, you name it, it could all go away very, very quickly.
Yeah, what I'm going to do is talk to one of our one of our Ramsey trusted real estate agents in the area, have them come out and look at the property, and give you a fair appraisal on what they think they could put it on the market for. You might be surprised pleasantly that you could sell it and get out from under it. Mm-hmm. If you're not, let's say your numbers are correct and you owe $750 and it's worth $700 today. I mean, if you hang on 2 years, you can sell it and get out of it because it will have gone up enough to cover this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like
doing any renovations to try to increase the value or save that rainy day fund.
Depends on what they're doing, what it is. Do I want to spend $100,000 on this? No, but if I could spend $20,000 of my $100 and make this thing worth $800, Absolutely. And then sell it. Right?
Yep, no, that makes sense because we wanted to buy. So it kind of, in a way, we didn't have to put money down. So there was pros and cons to all of this.
No, you don't want this house. You don't want this house. Your wife doesn't want to live in this house. This house represents, every time you walk in the front door, it represents stupid stuff you did when you were 23 and shouldn't have done, and your parents misled you on.
Mm-hmm.
And that comes up in my throat every time I walk in there if I'm you.
Yep, it does. I have my days where it's good and then other days.
I don't have any good days if it's me. I'm out of there as soon as I can get out of there and start my life fresh with my wife somewhere clean, and screw this. Put it in the rearview mirror, man.
Why not sell it now, Dave? What would be?
He can't get out of it. He's got. Oh, wait a minute! You got $100,000. What am I thinking about?
He's got $100,000 cash.
Oh crap! Put the thing on the market and sell it. What am I thinking about? Thank you, Ken.
I was waiting for it.
What in the world? Golly, yeah, you got $100,000. You're $50,000 in the hole. Sell it.
Yeah.
As fast as you can. Get a Ramsey trusted real estate agent over there right now and get this thing gone. Yeah. Everything about this thing that you have brought up in the entire time I have known you, Michael, has been negative. There was nothing positive in this story. Put this in your rearview mirror and move on. And when you write a check for $50,000, anytime I do something stupid and it costs me money, and I have done plenty of that in my life, I always put stupid tax in the 4 column of the check. Down there at the bottom where you write the check, it says 4, put stupid tax. When I was 23, I was stupid, and my parents misled me, and they screwed me over, and I'm hurt, and I'm angry, and this is my stupid tax check. And thank God I had $100,000 saved to be ready for it. Mm-hmm. And now it's in my rearview mirror, and I'm moving on. And that's me if I'm you. I'm out of there. God,
and
what in the world am I?
And he can stack that cash back. He's financially sound outside of that.
Yeah, you're making 160. You're going to be fine. Yeah. Just get this weight out, the emotional, relational, financial weight out from around your neck. You're trying to go swimming with a concrete block shoes, man. Mm-hmm. Get out of there. Be done with this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. That's good. God, I don't know why I can't add. That's so aggravating.
Well, you had a lot of information you were processing.
No, I mean,
I was sitting there going,
sixth grader could have done that.
That $100,000 is a real nice oasis to get out of this deal.
Yeah. But the other thing is this: what normally happens to the human brain, and I'm going to accuse Michael's brain of this right now, is when you're in a negative situation, you tend to undervalue things. Mm-hmm. So I do think when the real estate agent comes over from Ramsey Trusted, RamseySolutions.com, click on agent, click on real estate. When they come over, they're probably going to give him some good news on values, because he's probably dealing with, well, I thought, it's just, and I looked it up on Zillow, which is worthless, and then I'm going to actually find out what the thing is worth, and I'm going to go ding, 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 I'm really out of here now. Yeah, because I don't have to write a check at all is maybe what he's going to find.
I hope so.
That's what we hope. That'd be great. I might be right, and I might be wrong, but I'm probably right. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Eric is with us in Olympia, Washington. Hi, Eric. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well, sir. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Hey, I have a little bit of a disagreement with my wife. I was hoping you could tip the scales and give us some outside perspective. She wants to move up in car. I'd like to save up and pay cash for the vehicle. However, she thinks that having a larger savings is okay. She wants to finance the vehicle, and she's okay with having a car payment if it means we have a larger savings. And I tried to explain to her about, depreciation and tell her why it's stupid to get debt. But I think she needs to hear it from somebody else. So I was hoping you could speak to that a little bit.
Okay. The thing I've noticed after 30 years of doing this is that different classes of people, regardless of race, different socioeconomic rungs on the ladder, do different stupid things. Mm-hmm. Poor people, the rough end of town, play the lottery more often than anybody else. Lottery tickets are almost all sold in poor zip codes. Payday lenders, 800% interest. Rent to own, title pawning. You don't see these places in the rich end of town. You know why? Because rich people don't do them. That's how they got rich. Okay? In the middle class struggles with credit cards, with student loans, with car payments, and with whole life insurance. and they give their money. They give their money. The middle class ensures that they're never going to be anything but middle class by being in debt to credit card companies and car companies, and borrowing and using whole life policies, which are a complete ripoff, and credit cards. And so and then you look at the upper class and go, okay, what do they do? Well, we want to mimic that because 90% of millionaires in America started with nothing and became millionaires. They didn't inherit their money. They're not crooks and they're not professional athletes. They're regular people. They just did things different. So what do they do? When I'm interviewing people on the Millionaire Theme Hour, for example, I ask them, how many new cars have you bought before you were a millionaire? They almost always told me 1 or 2, and it was the worst mistake of my life. How much did debt cause you, borrowing money, cause you to become wealthy? They almost always say, oh, no, I never borrowed any money. That was a blessing. Every time I borrowed money, it held me back from building wealth. And so that's what rich people say. And what your broke brother-in-law thinks, or what some journalism student with $82,000 in student loan debt writes on Market Watch, I couldn't care less about. Or is a guest contributor from Motley Fool, and they meant fool for sure. I mean, I don't care if you're broke, what your opinion is about money. You follow me? So we follow the money here. Show me the money. It's a Jerry Maguire moment. And if rich people say the best way to become wealthy is stay out of debt, then we do what rich people say, because that's how they got there. And you can't, there's just no disputing that. And the bottom line is this. The average car payment in America now, last month, we got data that it's now $501 a month is the average. Okay, $500 a month invested from age 30 to age 70 in a decent growth stock mutual fund in a Roth IRA is over $5.6 million. That's what a car payment costs you. It's $5 million over the scope of your life. And so that's why, rich people don't have car payments, because that's how they got rich. And so the point is, your most powerful wealth building tool is your income, and you can't make middle class mistakes with money and be anything but middle class. And there's nothing immoral or ignoble about being middle class. It's a matter of if you eat the same food fat people eat, you're going to be fat. Duh, And if you want to be skinny, find out what skinny people eat and eat what they eat. I wish I could do more of that. I don't do enough of it myself. But, I mean, it's a great example, right? Find out somebody's been married 50 years and they have a fabulous marriage and they can't keep their hands off of each other. So what did you guys do? Because other people I know about killed themselves, and I want to know how you get a marriage like that, And so I'm going to talk to people who are winning at something and do what they do, and not somebody that's just got a feeling or an opinion, because that'll make you broke your whole life. So all of that is how I came to the conclusion that, and through the faith lens, the borrower is slave to the lender, and I can't find anywhere in Scripture it says to get a car payment, although Jesus did say they were all in one accord.
Right.
Okay. Okay. So all of that to say, there's no possible way you should ever buy a car with a car payment. I would ride a bicycle before I had a car with a car payment. And it's not forever. I'm just going to save up and pay for it. But it sounds like you have the cash to pay cash for the car you want.
We're not far off. We have about $7,000 above our emergency fund, and I would like to spend a few more months saving up the additional amount. But she's, I guess, a little anxious, doesn't want to work, or doesn't want to wait. She commutes an hour each way to work currently, and so
it's her
I can understand being anxious.
It's her car.
Yes, sir, her car.
What is she driving now?
She drives a 2001 Mustang right now.
How many miles on it?
Just about 200,000.
I would move up in car now. I agree with her, but I would do it with the $7,000 in cash, and then save up and do it again next year.
Okay.
So
Alrighty.
Both of you get your way. I want her to have the nicer car she wants, but I'm with you. She waits till next year to get it. In the meantime, you can move her up about 3 times as good a car as she's in now, or 4 times as good a car as she can now with that car plus $7,000.
Right. Well, honestly, I didn't think of it that way, and that's a good idea. I sure appreciate your help, Dave.
Yeah, but the big thing here is, if you get the why, that whole diatribe I went on,
right.
If you get the why behind why you don't do car payments, then it's not a matter of if I do them, because I'm not going to do them, but how do I work around it and still accomplish some of the goals once I take car payments off the table, other creative answers start, like staging it, like we're talking about, start coming up on the table. But the typical person just goes, I want it, I'm going to go buy it, and then scratch their head while they're broke their whole life because they're giving it all to stinking Ford Motor Credit or Lexus Motor Credit or Toyota Credit or Chrysler Credit or whoever credit it is. Somebody's getting credit and it isn't you, and so it's a problem. It's a real problem. But just figure out a way to work around it. I'm with her. I think she's driving a piece of crap an hour, 2 hours a day. And she's rattling along the road going, when's this thing going to leave me stranded out here in Washington? Because it kind of gets cold there in the winter. I'm getting her a better car, or give her yours, and you drive the crap, one of the two, if you got a better car. By the way, that is federal law. Mom gets the good car. Was at our house anyway. So, but I tell you what, man, you guys, the car payment is truly the mantra of the middle class. And we have said many times on here that, the credit card, credit cards are interesting. Everybody knows credit cards suck, but everybody keeps using them. So we're at the stage with the credit card that we were with the cigarette about 1985. Everybody was disgusted with cigarettes. Everybody knew they killed you, but nobody did anything about it. But somewhere around 1985, it became like not cool at all to smoke anymore because it kills you and it's stupid and you smell bad. Same thing's true with credit card. Credit card is the cigarette of the financial world, and it's heading that direction. It just may take another decade to get completely uncool. I'm going to help. Ain't anything else to do. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show. Joanne is in Raleigh, North Carolina. Hi, Joanne. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave and George. Thank you for taking my call, and God bless you both for everything you do. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you. You too. How can we help?
Well, my husband's 75. I'm 65, both retired. We sold our house in Raleigh last September when the market was great. Thought we would be full-time RVers. Have been touring the country since then and have found that's not the life for us. So we would like to have a home base. So we've already made a deal, contracted for a brand new house near Raleigh, and it's about $400,000. We have $180 in a money market account, and another, well, it used to be $100 in an investment account, and that's gone down to $94,000, which is kind of sickening us. So we wondered what your advice would be. Should we put all that money towards the $400,000 house? I mean, it was a paid-for house that we sold.
What did it sell for?
We've been following $325.
Okay. And so you still got $280. What's the RV worth?
About $25.
You gonna sell it?
No, we were gonna take it up to New York, where we have our son and wife and grandchildren, and spend the summers in it up there at a campground.
Okay. All right. That sounds fun. Okay.
It is.
All right. And how much do you have in retirement accounts?
Well, I'm retired from New York and North Carolina, and then with both of our Social Securities, we get about a little over $7,000 a month.
Yeah, but do you have a retirement nest eggs?
No.
So you don't have like 401ks or something like that?
No, it was all state retirement.
Okay, so you have a good steady income, but this $280,000 between the investment and the cash is all you've got.
Yeah.
Okay. So I thought you said you were going to pull money out of retirement to pay for the house. How are you doing this?
No, the investment account. We were wondering if we should leave that in there.
No, you should put it all in the house. You should put it in the house. You have a really big monthly income.
Yeah, I know. We're blessed. We are very blessed.
Yeah. And I would use that in. You make sure you keep an emergency fund back, and let's put as much down on the house as we can. And then I want you to work to get that house paid off as quick as you can.
Yeah, that's.
Because I don't want you. Listen, I don't want you married to an 85-year-old man and still have a mortgage.
I know. We love you. We've been following you for 10 years. Actually came and saw you, in 2013, and you've changed our life already. But I think we feel like we may have done something a little stupid here. But just wanted to.
Yeah.
Hear you tell us.
Another option is buy a $280,000 house instead of a $400,000 house.
Well, we've already contracted for this new house.
That's where we started. It's looking for
Yeah, we tried to find a house for that, and even bid on a couple here in Raleigh, and it is crazy. The bidding wars. They're going for one house just went for $60,000 more than the asking price.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Well, that's the thing. I mean, because I'm not. I mean, we are not thrilled with the idea of you going into the last years of your retirement in the next 2 decades with a house payment. So I want you to clear that house payment on that $400 as quick as you can.
Yeah. Get that emergency fund, set aside some money for closing costs. The rest is going to be a big old down payment, so you have as little mortgage as possible so that you can attack it as quickly as possible. That would be my goal at your age.
Sitting on $130,000, $140,000 worth of debt, and so how quick do you pay that off with $8,000 a month income? So yeah, you're going to pay it off, but you do need to do it in like 3 or 4 years. You don't need to mess around with this, and because you want to get back to where you were with that paid for property, and then keeping that RV and then moving it up in there and having your summers around the grandkids is a cool idea. So, but let's have a plan to knock this little mortgage out. It's going to be a little one, and let's get it done, and then start building some investment dollars beyond that, beyond just your monthly income. I'd love for you to have another $500,000 in a few years, and you've got the ability to do all that, but you're just going to have to concentrate and focus here. So that would be an interesting note, because we have a whole lot of people that's their dream.
It's an RV.
It comes up a lot. Sell the house, and I'm going to RV. Sell the house, and I'm going to RV.
We get that from people of all ages.
And I'm going to RV around the country. And the moral of the story is it's not for everyone. And this idea that it's always glamorous, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's an RV. It's fun, and there's an adventure part to it, but it can wear thin, and it obviously did with them, and they're parking the thing.
Yeah.
And so it's the false start of it cost them something there. So if we had their situation to do over, we'd probably say buy a good used RV and go on the road before you sell your house, and make sure that
do a little test run.
Make sure that life is what you want before you.
Well, in this hot market, people are going, should I sell my house and just live in an RV because I can get so much for the house right now?
Yeah. No, you shouldn't, because it might not be what you want to do. So you ought to go give it a try, and that's why you try a pair of shoes on, see if they fit. This is a plan. Brittany's in Dallas, Texas. Hi, Brittany. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
I'm just calling to get some advice about how I could get out of debt.
Okay. How much debt have you got?
I have $65,000 in debt, 24 student loans, $15,000 in credit card debt. I have a personal loan, about $4,600, and I just got married, so my husband has about $50,000 worth of debt.
Mm-hmm. And how much of this is cars?
My car is $16,000. His is $8,000.
Okay. Man, you guys got a lot of debt.
Yes.
What's your household income?
He makes $50,000. I make $36,000 with the potential to get a bonus of $1,000 every month.
Okay, so you make $36,000 and you ran up $15,000 on a credit card.
$15,000 in credit cards, yes.
Ouch.
I know.
You've been spending like you're in Congress, kiddo.
I know.
You ready to stop?
I am. I've closed majority of them, but we wanted to keep open maybe a few, just in case.
Yeah, just in case ain't working for you.
I know.
You got $15,000 of just in case.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you need to get some scissors out and have a plastic surgery party tonight. You and your husband chop up all these credit cards. That'd be a good first start. Are you willing to do that?
I'm willing. I mean, it's me because before we got together, he didn't have credit cards.
Are you willing to chop up every credit card tonight? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. Are you willing to never go to a restaurant until you get this cleaned up unless you're working there?
Yes.
Okay. You willing to cancel your vacations until you get this cleaned up?
Yes.
Because that's what it's going to take. Because you have an $86,000 income and $100,000 worth of debt. You in deep stuff.
I know. But there's another thing. I've been a bill collector for the past 6 years, and I'm in school, and I'm paying for that out of pocket. I want to eventually stop working so that I can take this program, occupational therapy. I know I'll be able to make more money if I do that. So I feel like right now I just want to focus on paying off the credit cards, and once I'm in the program, I should be able to get a part-time job to pay a car note and help him with the household bills.
Well, I think you got about $100,000 worth of problems between you and getting that degree. I want you to get that degree. I like your idea, and I want you to head that direction. I think you're probably trying to get there quicker than you need to.
Right.
I think both of you need extra jobs, and you guys are going to have no life. Beans and rice and beans, and you lean into this. And if you'll do that, I can show you how to clean this up. But you're going to have to be more committed than you are right now.
Yeah, I know. So would I put off school? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, probably. Or put off quitting your job anyway. I mean, if you can go to school at night, if you can go to school at night and pay for it, that's fine. But I want this off your back. Because think about what it would be like. Can you even imagine what it'd be like if you had no payments?
Right. I $600 alone is going towards credit cards.
Yeah, you'd have money.
Yeah.
If you had no payments. Like a lot of it.
I know. Even being a collector.
Yeah. Well, that's the irony of this conversation, isn't it? But I think the thing is that you can really be one of those people that you call every day for the rest of your life, or you can decide to change your life right now. Today's your day. And if you can get him on board, if the two of you will get after this, I'll show you how to do it. But I got to tell you, the prescription that Dr. Ramsey is going to give you is going to taste bad.
I know.
It's going to be rough. The next 2 years of your life are going to suck. But you're going to live like no one else, so later you can live and give like no one else.
Right.
That's what Sharon and I did, kiddo. I mean, we were broke. We couldn't even pay attention. I mean, we fought all the time about money, stress, fear, anxiety, lump in your throat, sweat right above your eyebrows and in the palms of your hands. You ever had that happen?
Yes, it takes 2 weeks to get a check. In 5 minutes, it's like it's done. So all of that.
Tired of being a rat in a wheel, right? Run, get nowhere.
Yes.
If you're ready to change, it's going to hurt, but it'll work. I'll show you exactly what to do, but you're going to do it. And if you don't do it, it's going to be your fault, not mine, okay?
Right. I know.
I'm going to pay for you to go through Financial Peace University. It's a 1 year membership, and you go to 9 lessons in a group right there in Dallas. There's a bunch of them operating in Dallas right now. I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to give it to you for free, okay?
Okay.
Because I've been where you are. I've been scared. How old are you guys, 28?
I'm 29. He's 32.
Yeah, almost like I've done this before. Yeah, good job. You can do this. That's exactly how old I was when I was broke.
I can't, but I don't want to put off school.
You're going to put off a lot of crap, kiddo, or you're going to live your rest of your life like you're living right now.
I know.
I don't want you to put off school either, but you're broke. You're $100,000 in debt. I want you to be very afraid, so afraid you do something about it. Like the doctor says, if you don't lose 20 pounds, you're going to die. So what are you going to do?
Right.
You're going to lose 20 pounds, by God, right?
Right.
This is the game you're in. Now, you got to decide, because you can't play. You can't do ish. I'm doing Financial Peace University ish. Ish will get you ish. That's all it'll get you. So if you'll submit yourself to this process, 5 million people have gone through this class I'm giving you. Then the ones that submitted themselves to the process have completely changed their lives, and a lot of them are millionaires as a result. But that's 10 years. That's 10 years later. You got your degree, and you got your degree, and you're making $100,000, and you're debt free. And that's the 40-year-old you. Or the 40-year-old you is going to look back at the 28-year-old you and go, you're stupid. You should have done that stuff that man told you to do.
Right.
It's going to be one of the two. It's no in-between. There's no ish. So don't do this if you're going to ish, because you're just going to be aggravated. Ish doesn't work. Dave, ish. Truth, ish. Sorta, ish. Do it. Do it. You hold on, I'll have Kelly pick up. The only thing I ask for you to do is to promise to attend all 9 lessons, you and the husband, and I will show you how to do this stuff, and I'll convince you that it's going to work. Why? Because it will work. It will work if you'll do it. And this will get you out of debt, and you're going to have a really painful 2 years. You're going to live like no one else, so later you can live and give like no one else. I will show you how to get not only up to ground zero, because right now you're in a hole. We'll get you back up on top of the ground first, and then we'll show you how to build a millionaire life. And that's what these people do that follow this stuff. It's what happens to them if they don't do ish. Now, you want to adapt and you want to write your plan, you can write your plan, but you're broke, so your plan sucks. Follow mine, it works. And this is not because I'm arrogant, but because we have a track record of helping literally millions and millions and millions of people do this. So today's your day, kiddo. Decide if you is or if you ish. Which is you? And that everybody's got that day. This is yours. What are you going to do? And when you get out and you're wealthy someday and you find somebody that's scared to death like you are, you pay for them to go through the class. Pay it forward. Hold on. Kelly's going to pick up. We're going to pay for you to go through. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
2016, we went through the university program, and in 2017, we became debt-free and was able to purchase our mobile home debt-free completely. And but since then, we have obtained 3 major personal loans and 13 credit cards, which has put us into a hole of $46,000. Yesterday, we did talk to a loan officer that has helped us, got us into it. We didn't pay for it. We haven't got it yet, but we were able to obtain a loan of $29,000 that will put us into a debt relief loan. And that's why I'm calling. I'm going to get advice about it. And granted, what concerns me is that every loan and credit card, we have had 100% in our paying the bills on time. I don't know how we've done it. It has to be the Lord completely.
Why did you go into debt after you were out of debt?
Because we were like paying off the credit cards to pay off the credit cards to pay off the credit cards.
I thought you said you were debt free 100% earlier.
We were.
Then why did you even have a credit card?
Because of certain emergencies that came up.
You had an emergency fund?
We did, but then we had medical bills and things like that. It came up, and we went to the university, but we didn't have.
Yeah, what's your household income, hon?
Right now I make $1,600 a month. My husband makes $1,500 a month, and that's only Social Security, and that's all our income.
So you have Social Security income. How old are you guys?
I am 69. My husband is 71. I just turned 72. Excuse me.
Okay, so you have a $3,100 income, and you have a mobile home in Los Angeles.
Actually, we're in Hemet, but Los Angeles is. But we go there a lot to see my grandkids. That's where they live. So we're constantly traveling.
How are you paying for the travel?
Through gas. I mean, we pay. My husband is like a handyman for a friend of ours, and my husband's constantly getting paid to do it. He does odd jobs. So that's kind of what we do, what he does. So he does get paid a little bit every month, which isn't a lot, but it does help with a lot of our bills, which is not a lot of bills, but we do have them. And
you have $46,000 in debt, and you have a paid-for mobile home.
Yes.
You live in the mobile home still?
Yes.
Okay. Do you own the land under the mobile home?
Yes. Yes.
What is all of that worth?
We paid $70,000 for the mobile home at the time that
No,
we bought
what is it all worth today? The land and the mobile home.
$175,000.
Okay.
$175,000.
Okay. And I'm still confused. This is not in Los Angeles. It's where?
It's in Riverside County.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. We live 100 miles from my family, but that's where everybody lives. And so our church is in LA County. But we watch it a lot, most of the time online. But
okay, and you ran up $46,000 in credit card debt.
Yes. Yes.
And someone's offered you a $19,000 loan.
29.
A $29,000 loan. Okay. Do they want the trailer as collateral?
No collateral. It's a debt relief.
No,
it's debt relief.
Yeah.
It's not a loan.
Where I'm worried about you, Hannah, is you're still looking to debt as the solution for this. You haven't learned your lesson that debt is the issue, and Financial Peace University didn't get it through to you, and you're still no.
You're still borrowing money.
You're still borrowing money.
You called me about borrowing $29,000.
And so, even if we said to you today,
close all of our debts.
Even if we said to you today, hey, sell this land and mobile home and take $46,000, pay everything off, and then take the little bit and get yourself a modest, put it as a down payment on your next thing, you'd get yourself in the same trouble again. And so there's something that's got to change in your mind in order to make this right.
Yeah, you have to have a new commitment to have an income that's large enough that you live on less than it.
That's right.
And you've got $3,100 but you can't even pay the payments on what you've got, $3,100, and eat and buy gas to run back and forth to see grandkids that you're describing. So I don't know what your husband's making on top of the $3,100 as a handyman, but he needs to be making at least double that. I mean, living in LA County on $3,000 is pretty tough.
And I don't know how long they've been retired from not working jobs. You know what I'm saying?
Well, 69 and 71, but yeah. I don't know. But Hannah, the situation is what we keep hearing, what Jade's saying is we don't have math that is sustainable here because the pattern keeps you spending more than you have coming in. And that's not a pattern that's sustainable.
And you're telling yourself a lie, which is you're telling yourself, we always made payments. We always did it on time. You're still telling yourself that story. I don't know how we did.
Like it's a miracle. That's not a miracle. It's just you paid the stinking credit cards before you did anything else, and that's how you did it. And then you barely ate, and then you barely bought a little gas money, and your husband swung a hammer enough to get it done.
Yeah.
Or turned a wrench or whatever he was doing. But still, I mean, that's... So, yeah, I think what we need to do is consider the trailer and the land. I don't know if that's sustainable. I don't know what the cost is on all of that. Mm-hmm. Where you're living is one of the most expensive areas in America to live.
That's right.
And it's near your grandbabies. I heard that part. I get that. But you cannot borrow your way out of debt. So, no, do not take the $29,000 loan. Yes, increase your income, get on a detailed budget where every dollar has a name before the month begins, and the two of you find enough work to do on top of your Social Security to get this $46,000 cleaned up. So an example would be if you did $2,000 a month, you would be done in 23 months towards the debt.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's an example. If you did twice that, you'd be done in 10 months. So that's the kind of thing I'm looking at. What kind of a sprint can I do with odd jobs, part-time jobs, full-time jobs, whatever, for a short period of time to get this in the rearview mirror? And then you've got to keep this in your rearview mirror. And you can't say, well, we had an emergency. You have an emergency, you got to figure out a way to pay for it because you can't borrow money. No more credit cards. You have to stop it because you're going to wake up at 81 in the same situation and then 91 in the same situation because the math you keep and the excuses that you're using to get into debt, those are not sustainable. That's exactly what Jade's pointing out to you. So you can still do it, but you've got some tough choices ahead of you, kiddo. Create your free $Every Dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.